Business with a servant's heart. Welcome to the podcast. Inspiration, motivation takes. Listen to the podcast. We're all about to talk about life. Our guests will share their life story. We want you to success in life and business. We're ready and we will start shortly. We're gonna talk about life. We're going to speak on business. You're gonna shine bright. We are going to witness. Business with a servant's heart. With hosts Steve, Ramona, and Ray. Inspiration, education talks. Listen to the podcast.
Welcome, everyone, to Doing Business with a Servant's Heart podcast. I'm your host, Steve Ramona. I am so thrilled to have you join us today. This podcast is dedicated to exploring the idea of doing business and living life with a purpose. We want to approach our work and our lives with that servant's heart to be able to create impact and create service in serving others, because we know it truly makes a difference. This show was started because we want to motivate you, inspire you, and educate you to make that impact in your world. And my guest is going to blow you away because you're going to talk about one of my favorite subjects, podcasting. And he's an incredible host. Even though he's just starting, I could tell he's just doing a great job. So get your pad and paper out because you're going to want to know all about my next guest. But I want to think about how you're going to serve yourself and serve other people today. And I've added serving yourself because a lot of people, they don't know how to serve others because they can't serve themselves. So take care of yourself, go take care of somebody else, and create impact today and change your life. Don't wait. That's why I put today. I could just say, think about how you serve, but think about how you serve today. It gives you that action of doing it today, because don't do it today. And then a week goes by, a month goes by, and you've never done it. And that's, of course, with every type of business. Today's episode is proudly sponsored by incredible partner, Pantheon Alliance. Imagine being part of an exclusive community of high-income, successful business owners, entrepreneurs, coaches, agencies from very diverse industries. Together, they are building a thought leader platform to make an impact in the world and change the world. So you want more about that and want information about that community, please reach out. I'll get you that information. With that being said, we're going to talk to my guest about impact and what I've learned about him, and it's only been 5 or 10 minutes. But what I love about him, he's diversing himself. He's an entrepreneur, but he's doing multiple things because guess what? Now he can serve more people and bring that abundance to them. Todd, welcome to the show.
Hey, Steve, thanks for having me.
Oh, I'm excited because as Warren Buffett says, and we know he has multiple diverse opportunities and projects and businesses. Why can't we do the same thing? We're not going to scale like he does. So you're launching a podcast next week called The Bolt.
Yes,
what's
sir.
the mission? What's your goal with that?
Yeah, so it's a podcast that's devoted to personal growth, self-improvements, and leadership. So really the goal is to motivate, inspire, educate, and conjure up this idea of change. We all need change. We all have issues, whether you want to believe it or not. We all have something, right? Some have more than others, but it's all about making that effort, right? And you just said it. You have to get the work done. You have to just say, okay, I'm going to commit to this. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to make a small shift. And that's really what it's all about, just making small shifts. So that's really what the podcast is all about.
You get me excited because it's really small shifts. We don't have to go from $1 to 100 million in a week.
Right.
Those small shifts. So talk about, I love that you use the motivation, inspire, and educate. What kind of guests are you going to have on and have on?
Yeah. Excellent. So yeah, it's going to be a variety of guests, really broad, really based on their journey. So I want to have people who have had a really interesting journey. Maybe they've had some struggles or some barriers that they've had to overcome, and they have an entrepreneurial spirit, and they've been through some challenges, and they've worked through change. And, so they're basically living proof that people can change, right? We all have a second chance. We all are trying to improve, to get better, to be the best people that we can be. So that could be anybody, really.
Yeah, that's so powerful. We need to hear it more and more. I know people go, I hear this survey, this change make, impact every day. Well, that's got to stick in your brain. I love that you do that, because you're similar to my podcast. We're out there sharing people how to change and be better and be successful. How much has COVID, you think, made this much more difficult?
Change.
Change and impact.
I actually think it fueled it. In fact, without COVID, honestly, I don't know that I would be having this conversation with you today. COVID gave me the time and space to reflect a lot. And I took that opportunity to take a good look at myself, my life, what I was doing. And at that point is when I met my high performance coach, or life coach. And she got me involved in this program called Positive Intelligence. It's a New York Times bestselling book by Shirzad Chamine. It's all about shifting from a negative energy to a positive energy. It changed my life forever. And I have episodes about it. And I don't want to go too deep into it, but yeah, COVID gave me the time and space, and that was the opportunity for me. And it really was the catalyst for my transformational journey.
Yeah. Thank you. Because you're right. It fueled me as well. It's interesting how we could turn a negative into a positive, which you've done.
Right. I mean, ironically, right. And then I took a program that takes a negative into a positive. So yeah, it was, it's strange. I mean, it was horrible, right? There were people that lost their lives, and I have friends who won't be the same because of this. But for a lot of us who had the opportunity or took the opportunity, a lot of people wrote amazing books during this time. So, it's just seeing an opportunity and going for it.
Yeah, it seems like a movie when you say all that about people affected and people dying. I think back, it seems like it was a movie that I was watching, right?
Yeah.
It's a
It
crazy
seems like so
feeling.
long ago.
Yeah, it does. So in the Bolt, I want to jump back into that real quick.
Yeah.
You do some solo casts, which reminded me I need to do my solo cast.
Yeah.
What are they going to hear when they hear your solo casts or see?
Yeah, absolutely. I love these. And I'm actually seeing more and more of these. So I feel like it's kind of a trend, and they could be 6, 8 minutes. Mine are going to be about 12, 15 minutes. I'll take a single topic like habits, how tiny habits can make a big impact. And I'll focus on Atomic Habits, James Clear's book, or I'll talk about mastering time or work-life balance. So I'll take just a kind of a basic, simple topic, and I'll just talk about it. And I'll share my personal journey or challenges or mistakes and how I've overcome them based on that topic.
Very powerful. James Clear, you're the second guest this week. Didn't mention him, and you probably get his newsletter every Thursday.
Oh, yeah.
Quick site, selling him, or I guess promoting him. Jump on his email. It's a free email. It's incredible, the value that he gives.
Yeah.
So I want to dive into your multiple projects. Like I said, I was so excited to hear you're doing the podcast, you have a digital marketing company, and you're starting a life coaching program. Yeah. How do they all fit in, and how do you see? Because there's definitely a fit with all of them. Yeah,
absolutely. The digital marketing company, Evolve Marketing, I've been doing that 15 years. So I've been I'm a traditional graphic designer. That's kind of my core. It's what I went to school for. I jumped on the internet bandwagon as soon as it came out. I built my first website, and I've been building sites, ever since. Been through a couple different ad agencies, startups. And then in 2009, I launched Evolve Marketing. So that was my focus. That was my baby, right? My first business. And it's in a good spot, successful. And, during COVID, again, I had a lot of time, and business has changed. Not a lot of people came back to the office. So the makeup of a business is really different. And that had me thinking about, is this a time for me? And at my age, thinking about what is next, and what's my passion? How can I amplify my message? And to your point, Steve, how can I serve more people? Because I truly believe in servant leadership, and I love the title of this show. So that's what I did. I really dug deep and found what I'm passionate about, which is about serving, helping people, and coaching. I've been kind of a coach. I've been coaching, mentoring, teaching all my life in different aspects. And I felt like this was a perfect place for me to go. And I saw how powerful it was when I hired my own coach, and I've seen other people that have had coaches and how they've improved, how much they've grown. And I felt like that was just the next logical step for me. And then keynote speaking, motivational speaking, that's just another part of that ecosystem. And then launching a podcast, again, another piece. So it's all these three things tying together. And then I have, my marketing company, which, fuels and helps me, all these things are about marketing really. So I kind of have a leg up in that aspect, I think. But so, yeah, that's how they all kind of tie together, I guess.
$1 million tip you just put out there to our audience. And the reason why, if you're a plumber, don't go be a life coach. I'm not saying you can't,
right?
But they got to be congruent like you're doing. There's a method to your madness.
Sure.
Because people will say we're crazy having all these projects. But if they're synergistic, game changer.
Yeah. And you got to be happy too, right? I want to be fulfilled. I'm loving this.
Yeah.
It's got me back into what I love doing, my core, which is design, creating content, marketing, writing, producing. These are all things as a business, you start a business, right? Because it's a passion and it's something that you love to do, and you're an expert in that, and you see a gap or you see a need. And then next thing you know, you're not, 5 years, 10 years later, you're not doing what you started. You're working on, I'm CFO, I'm HR, I'm doing all these things that are necessary pillars of the business, but not necessarily what I love doing on a day-to-day basis. So to come full circle, come back to my roots and bring all these talents and skills together is pretty cool. I haven't been this excited in a long time. So
you have holistic as part of your personal growth and coaching. Talk about that, because I really like that.
Yeah, it's all about holistic. I mean, you can look, change is difficult, change is hard. And again, you have to start small shifts, and then just build that momentum. But you really need to look at the holistic picture. We're talking about mind, body, spirits, really looking at all those life pillars and working on the things within those pillars. They're going to make you the best person you can be. So I like to say, I saw Robin Sharma, and he calls himself a life optimization specialist. And I love that. And so it's not so much about coaching, it's about optimizing your life. And I've actually built during COVID, once I got on this journey, I really started to nerd out about habits and life tracking. So I built this system of a habit journal, which ties into a spreadsheet, and I compare data and my goals week over week, month over month. And yeah, it's a little crazy, but it's all about optimizing my life and looking for trends, patterns of things that maybe are going awry. I track how much drinking, that I do. I want to make sure that, I'm in moderation, right? Tracking how much time I spend with my kids, my family, my friends, relationships. Those are important to me, but it can go off the rails real quick. So again, so going back to your question, Steve, it's just all about holistic. Everything ties in together. So you could be off in one area and good in another, but you really need to be working on all those things in tandem, but not overwhelming yourself. So just small little things here and there.
Yeah. How does somebody get started? When somebody's listening going, I love what you're saying, Todd, but so how do I start with these small little steps that impact me?
Yeah, boy, that's a good question. It's going to be different for everybody. I think it starts with just admitting that you have some things that you can work on. And we all do. It's just being able to admit it. And maybe you solicit feedback. A lot of people don't like feedback, so it's all about going out, ask your friends, ask your spouse, your partner, your parents, your kids, your colleagues, your team. People, they're willing to give you feedback. You just need to ask for it. And you'll find some things that you need to work on. And then you just need to commit to it. And then just take one thing. If it's smiling more during the day, there are so many benefits to smiling. Or giving yourself grace. Maybe you just beat up on yourself too much, or you have imposter syndrome. It could be just something as small as that. Or put your phone down more often, or listen to podcasts instead of streaming, or listen to music on your commute. It could be just something as small as that. But the key here, Steve, is admitting, committing, and then doing. And you have to do the work. And once you start, this is the beautiful thing, Steve. Once you start, you build momentum. You start to
Yeah.
believe in yourself. I can do this.
Yeah.
And then like James Clear says, 21 days, it's a habit. It's ingrained in your head. Next thing you know, you're just doing it. It's just natural. And that's a beautiful thing if it's a good habit.
That's a win, man. That's a major win. That's what successful people do. You talk to
Right.
all, talk to all of them like you have.
Right. That's the
I
5% club.
Yeah, I love the bolt for your name of your podcast. There's got to be a marketing thought, what your thought was, because when I feel energy, when I say, hey, I'm the Bolt podcast, energy comes to my mind. Is that kind of the goal? Tell me more.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Energy for sure. Positivity, momentum. So the bolt, the lightning bolt, the icon, the action of that has been something that I've been infatuated with my whole life as a kid. I remember watching the cartoon Flash on Saturday
Oh,
mornings.
yeah. Yeah.
And he was just a cameo on Justice League, so he was in and out. He wasn't a mainstay, but he was cool and different, unique. So I just liked that. And he was fast. I've always been a short person, so I've had to compete on speed. So I've always liked the kind of the speed aspect and the symbol itself. And then as a kid, I was a break dancer, and it became part of my logo and my tag when I was breakdancing. And I just love everything that it's about. So it was kind of natural. I've designed hundreds of logos over the years and created brands, and this one was really a no-brainer. It came together very easily. And then I'm an old Steelers fan. Sorry, I am in Cleveland, but I am an old Steelers fan. So the black and gold, kind of I'm a 70s guy, so the steel curtain, man.
Yeah, man. And shout out to the Steelers, their first win. Just on a
Yeah.
side note, we love the conversation.
Right.
So, something happened in your early 20s that changed your life. What happened and how did it change your life?
Yeah. So, like many people, I had some struggles. In my, early teens, I got involved in, drugs and alcohol, and was really just lost, and I had no path. And at one point in my 20s, I was living in this really drug-ridden home with a couple of guys. One guy I knew, the other guy didn't. There was a little incident that happened. I went out with a couple of friends, came home, they dropped me off, and was a little tipsy. And I was sitting in a chair, and it was like 2:30 in the morning, and they just came over and literally beat me to a pulp. So this was premeditated. They had a plan in place. I don't know what they were on or what was going on, but I mean, Steve, it was all I could do to get away and survive from this. It was pretty scary moments. And at that point, I said, this has got to stop. I'm meant to do more, to be more. I can't continue down this path. So a week later, I enrolled in college, University of Akron, in graphic design, and that started really my journey.
I'm going to blow you away. Go Zips.
Ah,
Did I hear
thank
right?
you.
Yes.
You did. Zippy,
I'm a
yeah.
big college football fan, so it's amazing how I remember
Yeah, we're not
these
big,
crazy.
yeah. But we have an amazing soccer program, national.
There you go.
Soccer
So you
program.
have something.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
we do. We got some.
So what are you looking for as a guest on your podcast? What would be a great, and somebody out there in the audience is like, hey, I might want to be part of this. What would be a good fit?
Somebody that's got a great story. People love stories, right? We're in marketing. Everybody wants a great story. So somebody that, again, has been through some trials and tribulations. Maybe they're an entrepreneur and they want to share their story about how they gave up this wonderful big job to then just take this risk and go out and start something new. Or maybe they've had some struggles, personal struggles that they've overcome or barriers, and they want to share those. But really this is about change and growth. So it's somebody who believes in that, who's committed to that, or maybe coaches or teaches or mentors others about leadership or growth. So really anything that's surrounding or wrapped around personal growth and leadership.
That's fantastic. So, and you'll get his contact info. We'll shout it out here in a minute, and I'll put it in the show notes. But real quick, coming to the end here, your public speaking influenced your career and personal development. I love to hear about how this happened.
Yeah, I mean, personal speaking, it's funny. So I have a 12-year-old daughter, and she just had a class project where she had to get up in front of the school and talk about 5 things from summer that she'd like to do. and she said it went horribly and that she was shaking so bad that she could barely hold on to her paper. And I'm just thinking, my gosh, I couldn't relate to that because that's not who I am. And I had empathy and I tried to talk to her and said, hey, I'll help you. I'll coach you through this. How can we make you feel more confident? But I think what it comes down to, Steve, is confidence. And I've always loved being on center stage. And it goes back to my breakdancing days. Honestly, it was before public speaking. That is all about, we would go to the mall and we would stir up, there'd be 30, 40 people surrounding us, watching us, because it was a spectacle. People love to watch it. But that's what I love to do, is just be on a stage and inspire, put a smile on somebody's face, get them excited about something. So that was kind of the natural progression. And then just speaking, being an expert, on topics. So I did that primarily for my marketing business. But so yeah, it was a natural fit. And, I know it comes natural to some people and others it doesn't. And,
Yeah.
but, like anything, it takes work. So, I
Yeah.
practice, I get the reps in, I
Yeah.
watch YouTube videos, TED Talks, I'm trying to get better every day.
I'm looking at you and thinking breakdancing. It's like, you're my second breakdancer I've ever met in my life. It's because I
Really?
can't
Yeah.
dance. I break a dance, I'd break my head. I'd break my
Yeah,
neck probably. And that's
yeah,
not for everybody either. So
no, it's not, but
and that
it
was
made
your
it to
early
the
20, that
Olympics.
was your 20. Yeah, it did amazingly. Well,
Yeah.
it's not amazing because you're a breakdancer. What age were you breakdancing?
I was probably fifth to eighth grade.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
very young and
Yeah, I was very
doing it out
young. Yeah,
there.
because
Yeah, yeah.
again, I'm product of the '70s. So as soon as it was starting to, I got really good, and then it tapered off. And I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
oh, okay. But it
Well,
was, it's fun.
that's amazing, man. You're a blessing. I love everything that you're doing. You definitely share with us your servant's heart, and you're doing it with all your projects. It's a great lesson for the audience to learn, to take advantage of, and grow from, because that's the whole idea, is to grow and educate. And you're going to podcast, and we'll talk more about the podcast and how they can get a hold of that. But I've got a great question I like to end with. It's kind of a fun question.
Sure.
So you've got a reservation at a restaurant, table of 4. You're obviously going to sit in one of the chairs, and the other 3 empty chairs. Who would you invite, dead or alive? Why? And what would you order for food?
Oh, Steve, that's loaded, man. Well, here's the thing. I am not a foodie, so I have so many stomach challenges. I just eat because I have to. So food, I don't know what I'd order. Probably steak and potato, because I'm just a pretty basic guy. The people, oh, that's a good one. One would probably be James Dean.
Ooh,
That guy is amazing. And yes, he's, iconic status. I've read several books about him. Would he be alive right now? He would be doing just amazing things. He was brilliant. Another person would be Bruce Lee. I'm actually reading a book, Be Water, My Friend, by his daughter, Shannon Lee. It's really good, Steve. You'd like it. He was definitely a servant leader as well. And what a lot of people don't know about him is he was a philosopher. This guy was brilliant and an innovator and a businessman. So yes, he was awesome, martial artist and actor, but there was so much more to him. And I think the conversations we would have would be, really intriguing. And next would be Marshall Goldsmith. So I don't know if you've read any of his books. What
I
got
don't
you
know
here?
him.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. He's one of I guess he is the top executive leadership coach in the world. And so a couple of his books are What Got You Here Won't Get You There. Amazing book. Some really great tips in there. And then he wrote The Earned Life, all about not having regrets. He's an older guy, lots of wisdom. He's been coaching top executives around the world for a lot of years, so a lot of knowledge there. And just off the cuff guy, I just think he would be a blast to hang out with, and I would learn so much.
Fantastic. What a great table. I might have to pull a
That would
chair.
be a really
Oh my God, I
interesting
might have to
table.
pull a chair up and join you.
Right?
So that would be fantastic. So this has been incredible. You are just a blessing. People reach out. How can they find you, connect with you, reach out to you?
Yeah, absolutely. Lots of different ways. Obviously, I'm a marketer, so anyone just do a search for Todd Birch and I better come up or I'm not doing my job. But yeah, you can go to my website, toddbirch.com. And my last name is spelled Bertsch, although I have all the misspellings as well. Or you can find me on Apple, Spotify, the Bolt podcast, or you can find me on any of the social media platforms, the Bolt with Todd B. So
yeah, there you go.
Any of those, yeah.
And I love that you said that. I better be up there when it's such a
I
great
mean, I
comment.
should, right? I mean, practice what you
I
preach.
love it. Yeah. No, I didn't even think about it till you said, like, yeah, he better be there. If you're reaching out to me going, I can't find Todd Birch, that yeah, there's a problem there, which there
Right.
won't be, because I can tell you, you get this thing. Well, again, thank you so much. Incredible show. You've been a blessing as a guest. And, you know, audience, can you do me a favor and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't? Because you get to listen to him over and over again. He gave you some great tips. And also you can share it with a friend. They can subscribe. Why do you subscribe? Because you can access this show quickly instead of just searching through YouTube. And then any other great guests I have that are just like Todd with his servant's heart, but are really willing to give out their free information to help you grow and doing the small little steps that he mentioned on the show. And also too, comment on the YouTube channel, which is going to come out right away, or on the podcast. Any information, you know, critique the podcast, give me good, bad. Hey, it's all about you. So I want to make sure you guys are happy. And if there's anything you want to get to Todd, put it out there and I'll make sure he gets the information so you won't be lost. And I'll make sure you guys get connected one way or the other. Don't forget my TV show, Together We Serve. It's every Friday, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. I'm not good with time zones, Todd. They got to change that, but I'm not the president, so I can't do that right now. So don't forget that. It's on YouTube, on Spotify, live on YouTube, live on LinkedIn, e360tv.com as well. And as always, me and Todd want to thank you guys so much for watching or listening to this podcast. And we'll see you on the next episode of Doing Business with a Servant's Heart. Have a great day, everyone.